Welcome to the Triumvirate Files. Subtract faster than a calculator, Vedic Method, and more. Trick number 1 is the Vedic method. This trick is unique because unlike traditional subtraction like we are taught in school, this trick does not go from right to left, nor does the Vedic method require any borrowing at all. Instead, this trick actually goes from left to right. So let's start at the hundreds digit. Here we have 8 minus 4, which equals 4. Simple. But now in the tens digit, we have 2 minus 6, which is not possible. So to do this without borrowing, let's list out the complements. Complements are two numbers that add up to 10, such as 1 and 9, 2 and 8, and so on. So here, the complement of 6 would be 4. So let's add 4 and 2 to get 6, which we will write down here. But we aren't done yet. Because we did not borrow, we must reduce the hundreds digit by 1. So instead of 4, we should have 3. Let's move on to the units digit. Here we have 3 minus 7, which is also not possible. So let's find the complement for 7, which is 3. 3 plus 3 equals 6, which we will write down here. Now, we must reduce the tens digit by 1 because we did not borrow. So instead of 6, we will have 5. So our final answer is 356. Now let's try another problem using the Vedic method. Here we have 537 minus 259. Let's start at the hundreds place, where we have 5 minus 2, which equals 3. But now at the tens digit, we have 3 minus 5. The complement for 5 is 5 itself, so 5 plus 3 will give us 8. Now remember, because we did not borrow, we must reduce the hundreds digit by 1, so we will have 2 instead of 3. Now to the units digit, where we have 7 minus 9. 9's complement is 1, so after adding 1 and 7, we will have 8. Now all we have to do is reduce the tens digit by 1 because we did not borrow to get 7. Our final answer will be 278. Trick number 2 is add before you subtract. This is a quick way to subtract large numbers from each other. This trick is fast and very easy to do, making it useful for mental math. The goal of this trick is to try to get the multiples of 10, such as 20, 50, 100, and so on. This makes the problem simpler to do. In this problem here, we have 345 minus 197. Another way to write minus 197 is minus 200 plus 3. So we can write this problem above as 345 minus 200 plus 3. By subtracting 200 from 345, we will get 145, which we can simply add to 3. Our final answer will be 148. In this second problem, we can use the same method to make the subtraction faster. Let's start by writing minus 59 as minus 60 plus 1. So we have 131 minus 60 plus 1. First, we can subtract 60 from 131, which will give us 71. 71 plus 1 equals 72. This will be our final answer. Now my friend will explain the next two tricks to subtract faster.
Trick 3 is called Break It Down. This is a unique and useful trick which will help in all sorts of situations. In this problem, we have 2,398 minus 1,287. Instead of doing the problem as a whole, we can split it. We take the last two digits of each number and we subtract them. So 8 minus 7 is 1 and 9 minus 8 is 1. So this makes up the last two digits of our final answer. We do the same thing with the first two digits, so 23 minus 12. So 3 minus 2 is again 1, and 2 minus 1 is 1. This makes up the first two digits of our answer. So our answer is 1111. So moving on, let's do another problem with this trick. As we can see, we have 5,667 minus 3,265. Like we did before, we can take the last two digits of each number and we have to subtract them. 7 minus 5 is 2, but in this problem what we have to do is put 0 as a placeholder because we're subtracting two two-digit integers. Therefore, 0 and 2 are the last two digits of our answer. Now we do the same thing with the first two digits, so 56 and 32. We subtract them. 6 minus 2 is 4, 5 minus 3 is 2. So the first two digits of our answer are 2 and 4. Our answer is therefore 2,402. Our final trick is avoiding borrowing. Borrowing is inefficient and time-consuming, so to improve speed, we have to stop using it. This is a difficult habit to get rid of because it's what we all learn in school and it's ingrained into our heads. Anyways, we see the problem 8,324 minus 5,263. First, we convert the problem into a vertical form. So we subtract the 4 and 3 normally, giving us 1. Now, instead of borrowing 1 from 3 and turning the 2 into 12 and whatnot, we just subtract the middle two digits from each other. So in this case, 32 minus 26, which is 6. Like we learned in the previous trick, when subtracting two two-digit integers, we have to put 0 in front as a placeholder, so 0. Next, we subtract the 8 and 5 normally, which gives us 3. So our final answer is 3,061. Our last problem is 9,855 minus 8,773. As we did before, we have to convert the problem into a vertical form. We subtract the 5 and the 3 normally, 5 minus 3 is 2, and again we have to do 85 minus 77, the two middle digits. So 85 minus 77 is 8. So like we did in the previous problem, we have to put 0 in front as a placeholder, and then we can just subtract 9 minus 8, which is 1. Our final answer is therefore 1082. Thanks for watching, and subscribe and like for more content. See you next time, and remember, knowledge is power.